let me tell you, those of you that have been asking and clamoring for a Lamar Jackson response, given the widespread criticism over the last week or so, right, since that column from the Baltimore Sun and Mike Preston dropped, and this thing has snowballed into really just astronomical heights, ask and you shall receive, because Lamar addressed it. He addressed a number of things just within the last hour or so at his Thursday press conference. Coordinators spoke as well, and we got a lot to discuss leading up to this winner-take-all moment on Sunday night in Pittsburgh. It's Ravens, Steelers for all the marbles. Welcome inside the channel. Happy New Year to you and yours. We will open up the guest lines in just a bit after my opening monologue. Go ahead and vote in the poll. This has everything to do about Lamar Jackson, and almost 40 votes in so far. Are you expecting a legacy game from Lamar Jackson at Acrisure with this team's back against the wall, the newfound life, right, over the last few days since Cleveland upset Pittsburgh, and the Steelers obviously have a lot to play for given the way that they were embarrassed in the wild card round just a year ago at M&T Bank Stadium. This year, it will be at Acrisure, and I don't think I need to tell you the significance for both organizations, for both teams, for both quarterbacks, for both head coaches that comes attached to Sunday night. The magnitude is there. It will be the final game of the Week 18 regular season frame, and we got a lot to get to over the course of the next hour or so. It's brought to you by my friends at Preston Automotive Group, ZipRecruiter. Like the video on your way in. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit that notification bell. Consider becoming a channel member or gift-giving membership as we celebrate 2026. Lamar Jackson at the podium earlier today.
If you're going to be starting Sunday in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, man. I'm going to be out there.
Lamar will play. Just to be clear, he has confirmed that he will play after missing, of course, the Patriots game with that back contusion. And I should say the second half of the Patriots game, followed by Saturday night in Green Bay. Tyler Huntley and company got it done, and now it's his job to get it done to the best of his ability. And, of course, everybody around him. He's not the only one out there. He'll have plenty of help, you would think, coming up in a game where, yet again, there is a talent gap, but talent doesn't always decide the ultimate outcomes of these games, as we all know. What was decided today was an official response from Lamar Jackson as the second injury report of 3 just dropped. Saw that on my peripheral vision. We'll get to that in just a second. But Lamar addressed a number of things. His future, the questions surrounding his commitment, right? And whether or not he's a quitter, right? The things that have snowballed really due to the national conversation that started as an opinion-based, generalization-based column for Mike Preston of the Baltimore Sun. I've snipped a bunch of different things together and spliced it into a segment from Lamar's press conference. I'll react to it on the other side, and then we'll open up the guest lines and see what you guys are thinking in terms of how Lamar handled today's press conference.
I want to play football, but I felt like my brother had he can put a win off for us because I wouldn't be able to do anything. I was really hurt. Like, I don't know why I got to get questioned about, or I hear things about, I don't know if he really, like, I never quit on my team before, so I never quit anything, to be honest with y'all. So I don't know where that noise came from, but like, I already know my brother gonna pull it off if I couldn't get it done, So.
Surprised you that, like you just mentioned, the talk that comes up when you do get hurt, how people react, it seems like they're not as quick to believe that you're as hurt as yours.
But football. Fans do ask, like, does Lamar want to be here? Is he where he wants to be? What
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I don't even know where that come from.
Right.
Probably because, some people think they're just waiting for you to sign a contract and get something done with the team.
But we got to focus on winning right now. So contract talking be after the season or whatever, but during the season, I'm locked in.
Would you say you have a good relationship with John Harbaugh? That was another thing that was brought up. Would you say you guys have a strong relationship?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know like I said, I don't know where the noise come from, man. I don't know where the noise come from.
Captain Hard getting us started with the Super Chat party. He writes, Lamar missing a full week of practice and a game actually might have been the best thing, not just for his back, but for his other injuries. Thanks, Captain, and thanks to Laura for the 5 Bobby Baltimore membership gifts. 5 of you out there have official membership status thanks to Laura's generosity on New Year's Day. Laura, you're right up the road, right? Appreciate you, and appreciate Lamar's handling of today's press conference. Quote, I was really hurt. I don't know why I got to get questioned. I never quit on my team before. I never quit anything, to be honest with y'all. I don't know where that noise comes from. Do you think Harbaugh would let me fall asleep in his meetings? I'm right in the front. And then in response to whether or not he wants to be in Baltimore, absolutely, man. Absolutely. 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 That's 4 absolutelys for those of you counting. I don't even know where that comes from. We got to focus on winning right now. Contract talk will be after the season or whatever. But during the season, I'm locked in. And then finally, as you just heard there at the end of that segment that I put together on if his relationship with John Harbaugh is strong, quote, I believe so. Like I said, I don't know where the noise comes from, man. That is how Lamar Jackson handled part of today's press conference, knowing that there has been really swirling conversation nationally, regionally, locally about all things Lamar, most of which is generalizations, right? Perpetuated and ultimately beginning at the local level from the Baltimore Sun all the way up to the national level. And what do they say about the game of messenger, right? Whatever the message is, typically takes on new life as it's sent from one outlet, one person, one ear to another. And at the end of the day, man, all of a sudden along that chain, that messaging chain, it becomes a little bit more inaccurate and a little bit more, in this case, outrageous as it goes from ear to ear to ear to ear. And I think that sure seems like this is a perfect case, Exhibit A, for why that is the case in this regard. It has taken on a new life. It has gotten to the point of beyond hyperbole. And Lamar had a chance today to defend himself, which obviously he had left to allow his teammates and his head coach to do over the last week or so, given their platforms. So as you see here, it's the second of 3 injury reports that just dropped within the last couple minutes, courtesy of the Ravens. And most importantly, 2 consecutive full participation days have been posted by Lamar. He will play coming up on Sunday, just in case you missed it. And that's according to Lamar himself. Rashad Bateman, with an illness, has not practiced both days this week. Taven Bryan, veteran defensive tackles, missed some time on injured reserve this year with a knee. He was upgraded from limited to full participation. DeAndre Hopkins, again, it was not injury related. They gave him a rest day on Wednesday. He was limited today. I'll have some commentary on him in just a bit. Charlie Kolar with the nose was upgraded to full participation. Pat Ricard with an ankle upgraded to full from limited. Both he and Charlie were limited on Wednesday. Roquan popped up with a hamstring yesterday. He's been limited so far this week. You know he's not missing this game. Ronnie Stanley with that knee was limited. He has been upgraded to a full participant. Kyle Van Noy has been a DNP so far this week, a veteran on the other side of 30. That's always one to watch, but obviously someone that knows his body and knows what it takes at this point in his tenure. But he's been a DNP all week. That'll be one to watch given their concerns at edge. And Andrew Voorhees with a foot upgraded to full participation after being limited on Wednesday. So there you have it. That is your full slate and your injury report as of right now. As far as Pittsburgh is concerned, here is what theirs is looking like going into the third and final practice on Friday. TJ Watt will play. In what capacity? I don't know, but I just saw a quote from Terrell Austin, their defensive coordinator. He's going to play. He's been limited so far the first couple days of this week. James Pierre, who had an interception, of course, the first time these two teams met, Lamar Jackson's cousin, was downgraded to a DNP with an illness. I'm sure he'll be able to overcome that and play coming up on Sunday night. Calvin Austin, who I'm sure will have to take on a bigger role with DK Metcalf down at the wide receiver position. He's been limited throughout the week with a hamstring, as has Malik Harrison with a knee. Back-to-back days of limited participation. Cam Hayward, of course, one of their longest tenured players, if not their longest tenured player, defensive captain, defensive tackle. He was a rest-related designation on Wednesday, limited today. He's going to be ready to go. You know these guys have been playing for a very long time, and TJ Watt is the big news here. TJ Watt will play. I was going to have to believe it when I saw it in terms of his availability, and it sure seems like he is. I don't know about a full go, but he will be out there, and that means a lot, obviously, for the Steelers' defense. And do not overlook the significance of Derrick Henry being back out there. He was not available for Pittsburgh in Week 14. And when you look at some of the numbers that Sarah and I did earlier today, this Steelers defense is night and day when it comes to stopping the run with and without Derrick. I'll get to those numbers in just a bit, but I can imagine there's going to be a couple full-speed collisions between the two Derricks early and often on Sunday night. Derrick Henry in Baltimore, and of course, Derrick Henry in Pittsburgh. Tony Dungy commented on the latter of those two.
Fourth quarter, and I want to see if Derrick Henry's in the game. We saw Baltimore have a game that they had in hand, they had the lead, and Derrick Henry's on the sidelines with us. We're standing there on the sidelines watching and saying, what in the world is going on? I promise you, if they have the lead and they're trying to run the clock out, Derrick Henry will be in the game on Sunday night.
Todd Monken was pretty hysterical during his press conference earlier today on this topic.
All those where he kind of was tapping out, and I said, no, get him back in there. Yeah, I've been through that. Get his ass back in there. No, I mean, he's proven that throughout his career. Just by the way he takes care of himself. I mean, it's his size. I mean, it's just the way it is. It's obviously we're lucky to have him. That's just the way it is. The way he takes care of himself. As the year goes on, he's going to continue to get stronger. As the weather, turns the way it does, you're going to need him.
So did you hear that? 36 carries they dialed up for him, and at times I guess he was tapping out just out of pure exhaustion probably. And Todd's like, no, I'm not going through this again, meaning the national firestorm, deservingly so, by the way, that came after abandoning him in the fourth quarter against the Patriots the other night. But look at what Derrick's done and did in the month of December. He was first in carries, 90. He was first in rushing yards, 538. This is league-wide, not for the Ravens, league-wide. First in rushing touchdowns, including 4 just on Saturday night. 6 overall. First in first downs rushed for, 29. First in rushing yards after contact, 395, and is the only player in NFL history with 500 or more rushing yards in December in 4 different seasons. And oh, look, sure, it's not a 2K season. He's not flirting with 2K, nor will he reach 2K, barring something insane happening on Sunday night. But the King, soon to be 32 this Sunday, 1,469 rushing yards in his second season in Baltimore. That is good for, as you know, is it his second or third season in Baltimore? Why am I totally... this is his... Hold on a second here. This is Derrick's... Why am I totally blanking on that? Somebody help me out. Is this Derrick's... This is a form of the flu. Is this his second or third season in Baltimore? It's his second, correct? Because he didn't... They got there without... They got to the AFC Championship game without him. So it's his second. Thank you. As I completely... I dream of one day being healthy again. I really do. You could probably still hear it in my voice. I'm getting there. But man, the after effects of the flu is for real. Now, granted, I didn't get the flu shot this season, so maybe it's I have only myself to blame. But I just cannot get myself right. I was in bed well before 10 o'clock last night. And that's back-to-back nights of well over 8 hours, which I rarely get. And it's almost as if it's like it's like reverse psychology. It's not working. So anyway, he's a top 3 rusher is what I'm trying to say. A long way of saying that, as I'm sure you guys are going to get after me in the live chat. Okay, let's go to the waiting room. You guys have been waiting patiently. Over 600 concurrents between both platforms. Joe Jenkins with a super chat first and foremost. He's celebrating 3 months of channel membership. Thank you, Joe. Joe says the Vault has the Voltrons. The Bobby Baltimore channel has the Trosseteers. Ooh, I kind of like that. Just came up with that. Sounds cool. Yes, it does. I agree. I concur. Together, we are Flock Nation. The Trosseteers. That is absolutely electrifying, and I will be stealing that. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you, and Happy New Year to you and yours, my friend. Let's get back to the Lamar Jackson conversation, because as he confirmed earlier today, well, I'll let you hear from he himself, Lamar Jackson.
If you're going to be starting Sunday in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, man. I'm going to be out there.
Just 10 days ago, dealt with a back contusion after taking a knee to the back in the waning moments of the first half against the New England Patriots. And now Lamar will suit up with this team's back against the wall, but ultimately this newfound life that they've been blessed with thanks to Cleveland and thanks to Snoop and the King and everything else that went into Saturday night's victory in Green Bay. My nephew, it has been a minute. Let's go to what probably isn't the college dorm. Let's check in on Will and see what he's up to. I think this is probably the time of year where you have the, between semester breaks. Let's see what he got himself into last night. That's what we're really here for. We can live vicariously through the young man. Will, Happy New Year to you, brother. What's going on? Are you home? Where are you right now?
Yes, sir. I am home. I got my little Lamar Jackson Louisville Sports Illustrated Kids poster. Listen, I spent my New Year's in theaters watching Stranger Things, as a lot of people did, with some family and all. I'm not going to spoil for anyone who's hasn't seen it yet, so no worries on that.
Help me out, though. Help me out here, because
Yes,
I
sir.
tortured myself last night. You guys know me. You know the way I'm wired. I do not typically sit down, one, nor two do I ever really pull up a series, unless it's the pandemic, and I rip through Breaking Bad, which was electric. But last night, because of how down and out I've been, and because I didn't really have any plans I had offers to do things last night. They were just not that enticing. And after listening to my brother and what he got into in New York City, paying $190 or it was some ridiculous cover fee for a bunch of drinks. And then you get in there and it's like a club-like environment, elbow room only, and you can't get the drinks that you paid for up front. That was not something like I've been there, done that, Will. 31, I got you by a decade, if maybe more. Are you 20? Are you 19? What are you?
Listen, about that. Tomorrow is my birthday. I'm going to be 19. So
you're going to be 19 tomorrow. You're going to be 19 tomorrow. So let me tell you this, young man. When those opportunities present themselves, obviously you got to take them in the next couple of years, and you got to go. Well, you don't have to do anything, but I assume that your group is going to lead you to those types of New Year's Eve experiences in the coming years. Go through them, find a way to come out on the other end, and then you'll obviously your definition of fun will change and be adjusted accordingly as the years go on. But happy early birthday to you, first and foremost. We'll have to do it again tomorrow to actually celebrate you. But what I want to know from you before we dive into Lamar and then get back to, I got to get to the rest of the waiting room as well.
Yes, sir.
Question becomes, do I try Stranger Things? Because I have no clue what it is. The girl who watched Tilly for me when I was home last week, I queued up Netflix last night. I ended up settling on the Diddy documentary, which I couldn't quite get into for obvious reasons. But she had been watching it. So like I was almost inclined to pull that up and try it, but I know nothing about it. So should I?
Okay. So in my opinion, I want you personally to go into it blindly. All right. Everyone online, there are two sides of the fandom. Like it is like there's it became a fandom that everyone is starting to hate. There are fandoms like with Star Wars, with like just a whole bunch of fandoms in the world that everyone is starting to just like, okay, this fandom is crazy. So I want you to go into it blindly, actually review it, because there's some people who are like criticizing this and criticizing that over the seasons and even in the finale. I personally loved it. I watched it like, oh my gosh, I was 9 years old when it came out in 2016. So it which is crazy to say. That
okay.
It's been that long.
How little I know about this world, because I've never heard of it. I didn't know it existed. I keep tunnel vision in terms of how I spend my free time. If I was in a relation, how about this? The one relationship I've been in, those 2 years were the most in tune I've ever been, not only with pop culture, but like the series scene, right? And I could tell you at least like a little bit about what's hot right now. I got absolutely nothing. I mean, it's football season, for God's sakes. I got nothing for you on Stranger Things. Couldn't tell you jack shit. I might be pulling that sucker up tonight, depending on, well, wait a second. No, we got CFP games tonight. Fuck it. I'm never doing Stranger Things. What do you think about Lamar, brother? Tell me about Lamar.
Oh my gosh. Listen, I haven't been on here in a while. I haven't been on
I miss you.
watching the Vault. I've been like mentally, I needed to just stay grounded, stay on my stuff and get with friends and family. Just needed a lot of mental space. And you know what? New year, starting back strong with here. So I wanted to talk about this for a while. When that article came out, I was like, there's no fucking way these people are on their phone, Google AI is being like, oh my gosh, he's getting traded. Like, no. Like the fact that people completely forgot that he was like, oh, whoop-de-doo, I took the games out because I wanted to freaking win because I care about my team. And I mean, so I'm like really like I'm happy Lamar is actually like through the entire year he's been playing through injuries. It shows that has not given up on the team because he's playing through those injuries. Even Todd Monken mentioned how he's playing through those injuries, and you want him healthy. You want him to be at his best form. Like some people are like saying, play Huntley. We believe in Huntley so that Lamar can possibly be back in the playoffs and be at his best. But you also want to, like, you never know with Steelers defense. They have been bipolar this season. They have gone like 4 sacks in a game, 2 turnovers, and then the very next game they let a star running back go run all over them. You never know. So Tyler Huntley can have.
I want to hone in on this, not to interrupt you, because I think this is a good segue. When you think about the Steelers defense and the different versions of it that we've seen this year, a lot of it when it comes to defending the run starts and ends with this big fella right here who they used the first round pick on in Derrick Henry. He was the one that had the wonderful, and when I say wonderful, he's a wonderful young man. He had a tearjerker of a story that became national news leading into the draft, losing his mother. And I remember doing some homework on him when it comes to a first round draft stock and whether or not he would be there when the Ravens were picking, late in the 20s this past April. Take a look at the impact that he's had in 11 games. Okay, 11 games overall. He has missed some games, so he has not been as durable as you would have liked, or as the Steelers would have liked. But take a look. So they go from, as Chris notes here, as a defense, they go from allowing 4.56 rushing yards per play when he's not on the field to 3.54 when he is. That's a change that goes from 25th in the NFL, rushing defense-wise, to first. So I don't mean to just like single out one player or, as everybody says in the live chat, glaze one player. Fuck you. Where's Evan at? And he does that on purpose too, and he knows it. Grinch showed up in 2026. What else is new? But bottom line, not only will TJ Watt be out there, not only will Derrick Henry be out there, he wasn't in week 14. But this is a team that when you take the wild card game out of the equation, which I know was a big deal last January, historically, this team has had an answer for Lamar and has had an answer for Derrick Henry. And they have the bodies, the spy type strategy, and ultimately the personnel to do it. Whether or not that's the case coming up on Sunday night, I don't know. And I hope that Todd Monken and company come in with a very similar game plan to what that they did exceptionally well on Saturday night in Green Bay, and stick to it until the Steelers dictate otherwise. I mean, that's what you got to do. You have to earn the right on Sunday night. And why not? Why not make the Steelers on the flip side earn it? Earn it.
Yeah, no. And like I discussed this literally in the car with my dad. I literally just got a haircut, but no, he was like talking about like how like with Lamar not in, they were able to like give Derrick Henry more carries, and they're like they didn't really completely believe in Huntley passing, which I mean Huntley made good passes. Do not get me wrong, but he's not Lamar. He's not Lamar, and he was saying like, and I agreed with him. He wants to be not one-dimensional like we've seen over the years with this Ravens team, where in those big moments like the AFC Championship, even without Derrick Henry, even in those moments, we abort from the run after like one or two bad drives with like no run. Like they stop the run once or twice and we're like, oh my gosh, what do we do now? We just have to pass now. And we rely on that. So I want us to like not abort in those big moments again. Like we say this all the time. And even like Patriots game, that happened. We aborted it in the final minutes when we could have sealed the game and we wouldn't be fighting for a division spot. So I truly think if we actually like Lamar's gonna not be 100%. Let's get that out of the way. That is fair. And I mean, we just need to actually be back to what we were in 23 and 20, even in 2024. With a pick or poison offense and actually stick to that and not abort. And like, I mean, you're talking about Evan being bitching about like freaking, Derek Harmon and Glaze and other players. We do the same shit with Kyle Hamilton on the defense. If he was out of there, like you've seen our defense without him. Yes, like Kyle Hamilton has given up some plays here and there, but rarely. You don't see that often. But you can't be bitching about that without being like, we do the same shit. All right. Like the logic ain't logicking here. All right. I'm just saying.
Evan's going to be like somewhere on his New Year's Day, just enjoying his day. And then all of a sudden people are going to start tagging him in the Discord. What the hell did I do to deserve this?
You didn't cook by an almost 19-year-old. Come on.
Happy New Year, Evan. You did absolutely nothing to deserve this other than your constant ripping of me in the live chat, whether it be sincerely or insincerely. How about that? And look, Todd Monken just addressed it earlier this afternoon during the press conference, right? They will stack the box until they are forced to do otherwise. And how do you force them to do otherwise? An explosive play. Make sure they pay the price for stacking the box and selling out to stop the run. And how do you do that? You create separation, you test them through the air. And how you best do that is you have Lamar Jackson under center, because as respected as Snoop is as a primary backup and perhaps as a coveted one this upcoming offseason, I think he's made himself some money this year in a couple key starts, one against Chicago, one against Green Bay. He will not push the field and cannot push the ball down the field the way that Lamar can within the confines of his offense, given their two skill sets. We've got some breaking news, so I'm going to go ahead and address that, my man Will. Happy New Year to you, brother. Happy early birthday. I look forward to celebrating you tomorrow. And best wishes, my man. Can't wait to see what you accomplish in 2026.
All right. Thanks for having me. You guys have a happy New Year. Thanks for having me on again.
Always, Will. Thanks, brother. We'll open up the rest of the guest lines in just a bit, because I think you guys are going to want to hear what the breaking news is. Travis Whitfield has hit me with a super chat. And Travis writes, you live in Florida now? Travis, I moved down here. I threw all my stuff in storage back in the spring. Went to upstate New York to work on my mom's house for the summer and work remotely. And then Labor Day weekend with Tilly, my dog, we drove down to St. Petersburg, Florida, and I've been here ever since. I signed an 8-month lease. I've traveled in and out of Florida many times already for both work obligations, travel, personal obligations, holiday obligations. And I'm just trying to figure out what's next. I wanted to see what this place was all about. It's been a lot of fun. I've built a community here in the last few months. But obviously I've got a lot more to figure out in terms of what's next. And we'll see. I think that's what this offseason is really about, trying to figure out where I want to be and not what I want to do. I want to continue to build this company, but ultimately where I want to be geographically speaking. So appreciate you. And let's do this. Should we get to some breaking news? We got some breaking news here inside the channel. The Ravens have waived Ben Cleveland. You talk about tumultuous. You talk about inconsistent. You talk about up and down. Whew, that would best describe all of that. Ben Cleveland's tenure in Baltimore, which began in 2021 as a third-round pick. They used the 94th overall selection on him out of Georgia. 6'6", 355, came in with a tremendous amount of potential. John Harbaugh stood on the table, almost hand-selected this player, and I think it's fair to say that he never even came close to exceeding, reaching, or meeting the expectations that were surrounding him. Ben ultimately will have played in just 58 total games as a Raven, just 3 offensive snaps this season. He was re-signed to a 1-year deal, very team-friendly, minimal 1-year deal this past offseason. I think we were all surprised when that news came down. We all know that it was a really difficult offseason for him as well, whether it was the very public divorce or, more importantly, the DUI that led to a 3-game suspension. He recently served that 3-game suspension for violating the NFL's substance abuse policy. And again, this dates back to February of 2025, where he was arrested for a DUI. So again, started just 7 games over 5 years in Baltimore, and he was set to return from that 3-game suspension. But instead, Ben's career as a Raven, tenure as a Raven, is over. I hope his NFL career, for his sake, isn't over. But that is your breaking news here inside the channel, that Ben Cleveland is no longer a Baltimore Raven. I think a lot of us saw this coming a year ago. And then for depth purposes, the Ravens decided to bring him on. I for one, was stunned, given some of the messaging around him, given some of John Harbaugh's commentary around Ben over the years. Gosh, it all started, really, if you go all the way back to what was either his rookie training camp or his second-year training camp, where he failed to pass the conditioning test. And at times, the optics, the messaging around Ben is just that he had every chance in the world to seize starting opportunities that came his way, and ultimately he fell short of those. So again, Ben Cleveland, a former third-round pick back in 2021 out of Georgia. His time in Baltimore is over. Wish him the best moving forward. Had a chance to catch up with him and meet him on several occasions during my time in Baltimore. And hopefully for his sake, he gets a fresh start elsewhere. But given what he's put on tape, given some of the missteps, let's call it, as a pro over his 5 years, I wonder who's going to take a flyer on him. But that is your breaking news, that Ben Cleveland's time in Baltimore has come to an end. Let's get your thoughts on that. We'll open up the waiting room. Judah, Maurice, and others posted up down here. We are instantly reacting to Ben Cleveland being waived in Baltimore. Judah, something or nothing? I mean, a lot of people are like, okay, like let's get on to the next piece of news here, because this was sort of an afterthought, if you will, just based on how uninvolved he was with the Ravens offense. But where are you on the Ben Cleveland news?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I was never, I do like to talk about positions and how I like to, set up the rosters, but I never really paid attention to linemen too much. I usually trust you guys in the chat to keep me up to date on what linemen should be starting. But I did hear that there was a lot of fans who felt that Ben Cleveland, right, should have been over Falele, if I'm not mistaken. I remember that was the argument, that they felt Falele shouldn't have been a starter over Ben Cleveland. So with that being said, if that is indeed the truth, then I just think this is more coaching malpractice. I think we probably got rid of the better player and we kept the worse player, if indeed that was his, if he was backing up for Lele. So look, that's kind of
where I'm at, though. Here's where I'm at on the Ben side of things. I think he's given every chance to seize the opportunities that were in front of him. And quite frankly, I think he missed the mark as a pro, what was required as a pro in Baltimore. That's harsh.
Yeah.
But I think that's a harsh, truthful assessment of what went wrong for Ben's time in Baltimore. And I wish the best for him. I hope that he gets another opportunity. The Ravens sure gave him plenty. I know you guys are out there thinking, well, look at the numbers, look at the stats, look at the games played, look at this, look at that. That doesn't tell the whole story. right?
Yeah.
What you do on game day does not tell the whole story. Ultimately, that's how you get paid. Yeah, I get that. That's ultimately how you earn game checks and earn the right to be a pro and whatnot. But there's a lot more than just game day opportunity that goes into the commitment that you make and that you owe, right? The obligation that you have to the organization. And I think Ben, fell short of a lot of those expectations. So again, he was due to come off the 3-game suspension for violating the league's substance abuse policy. We know that it was a very eventful offseason for him a year ago that included a DUI. It included what became public ugly divorce with his ex-wife going through TMZ and you name it. So we can have the argument all we want in terms of Fa'alele and Voorhees and this, that, and the other. If he was a better player, if he gave them the best chance to win, I continue to believe that he would be out there. And there's certain benchmarks that you have to meet as a pro that I think he fell short of in Baltimore. So yes, they re-signed him this past offseason. I was as skeptical, as puzzled, as confused about that as anyone. But look, depth is important in this league. And when you're in a pinch, you're in a pinch. And oftentimes guys that are in your program that serve you a lot better than those that are on the couch and unavailable. So anyway, those are my thoughts on it. You called in for different reasons, I would imagine. So why don't you take me down where you were headed?
Okay, so I was listening to the chat. I was listening to you actually talk to the other callers, right? And I just have a slight disagreement, right? So I think we're all on board with the fact that if Lamar can indeed go, we want Lamar in the game, especially if he's 100%. But the problem with that is he's the only one who actually knows if he's 100%. That's always the caveat. You know what I mean? All we can do is take his word for it, right? But I heard you say something, and it's not just you. I heard a lot of people say something that I disagree with. It's the notion that they will stack the box, which, of course, you would think that's something that the Steelers would want to do. They would want to stack the box. But the solution for that, I heard you said, and a lot of fans said, was that, we have to make big plays to discourage that. I disagree. Actually, I think that the way that you discourage teams for loading the box on your star running back is to get the ball out quick, 5 to 6 yards at a time. This discourages them from putting 8 in the box, feeling that to counter your running back, we're going to give up 3 to 5 yards with a quarterback who is intent on getting the ball out. To back up my argument would be, if you look at the sample size with Snoop Huntley against the Packers and the Bears, this is something that teams didn't want to do against Snoop. They didn't want to load the box. This is another reason why Derrick Henry was able to have success, because the teams knew that the 5 or 6 yards they give up would be a first down every other pass. Now, the problem with somebody wanting to go deep against 8 in the box is that if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'll trade you that all day. If you got somebody like Derrick Henry in the background and your answer for me loading the box is going deep 15 to 20 yards to beat it, I'll trade you that all day, because I feel like we'll stop you more often than you can make us pay going 15 to 20 yards down the field. So I say all that to say this. I'm hoping that the notion is that Lamar will pick up where Snoop left off, and we'll take advantage of the short game to discourage the 8 in the box.
Well, I hear all that. He's got to get the ball out of his hands quickly. We all know that. I can't imagine that this back, given the state that he was in 10 days ago, is anywhere near 100%. He's going to be wearing a protective gear that he says he's confident with and has played with, by the way, has a level of familiarity and a comfort level with that, dating back to his rookie year. He later ditched that as he became a pro and became more and more aware of what it was that he needed to best serve him and his game on game day. So that's ultimately a judgment call by him based on comfort, based on feel, based on what he feels he needs to better and most importantly best protect himself. So look, I'm with you. And Pittsburgh's got the dogs. Pittsburgh's got the bodies to have a plan for Derrick. And one thing you're going to get with Lamar, granted, I don't know if you're going to get it to the extent that we typically get it, given his lack of mobility, or perhaps I'm forecasting a little bit because we just don't know what he's going to look like out there. But assuming that his mobility and the extension of plays won't be to his usual standard, that will come with a level of the need for decisiveness, and quick progressions and the quick passing game. And I wonder how Pittsburgh will counter. So, Judah, thanks for the call, brother. Happy New Year to you.
Same to you.
Thanks, man. Robbie Pate inside the channel. What's going on, Robbie? Happy New Year, brother. How you doing?
Happy New Year. I'm back in Baltimore right now, so it's good to be home.
Hell
But
yeah. What part of
yeah.
town?
I'm from the Waverly neighborhood.
Very good. Very
Which is
good.
kinda
Back in
cool.
town from Massachusetts, baby.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been here for about a week now. I did a couple gigs with my friends out here, which has been fun. I was playing at Hotel Ulysses last night. It was a blast.
Very cool.
But
Good
man,
for you, man. Welcome back. I would say welcome back, but I'm outside the 410 right now, but I hope you enjoy it.
yeah, definitely, man. Wow, man. The Ravens, they just can't, stay out of drama, man. There's always something with this team. There's always something.
There's plenty of it. There's plenty of it. So what you got on your mind going into this regular season finale?
Man, I'm so excited. And I actually, before you hopped on the stream, I watched the press conference and I can just see Lamar's like so excited. I can see it in this expression of his face. He just seems happy and just ready to go. And that just got me so excited for this game. Like, I think it's gonna be a great game. And he shut down all the haters. He shut them all down. He shut them all down. That press conference was so short, but like he was just chopping at the bit. Every question, he was ready for all. So I really love seeing that conference.
I spliced it all together. It was only 7 or 8 minutes, and here is
Yeah.
like 90 seconds of the way that Lamar handled a lot of what you guys have been anticipating and clamoring for over the last week since this story that began as a column, right? An opinion-based, generalization-based column went national to just astronomical different heights of intensity and hyperbole. Here is Lamar earlier this afternoon.
I want to play football, but I felt like my brother had he can put a win off for us because I wouldn't be able to do anything. I was really hurt. Like, I don't know why I got to get questioned about, or I hear things about, I don't know if you like, I never quit on my team before, so I never quit anything, to be honest with y'all. So I don't know where that noise came from, but like I already know my brother gonna pull it off if I couldn't get it done, So.
Surprised you that, like you just mentioned, the talk that comes up when you do get hurt, how people react. It seems like they're not as quick to believe that you're as hurt as you say.
But football. Fans do ask, like, does Lamar want to be here? Is he where he wants to be? What
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I don't even know where that come from.
Right.
Probably because, some people think they're just waiting for you to sign a contract and get something done with the team.
But we got to focus on winning right now. So contract talk can be after the season or whatever, but during the season, I'm locked in.
Would you say you have a good relationship with John Harbaugh? That was another thing that was brought up. Would you say you guys have a strong relationship?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know like I said, I don't know where the noise come from, man. I don't know where the noise come from.
Robbie, is that what you were referring to right there? Every single one of those answers?
Every single one. Every single one. But you know what? Mike Preston, it worked. It worked. It got everybody talking about it. So whether it was true or not, he got everybody talking about this Baltimore Sun article. So everybody talking about it now. So,
and that's what I was saying on the vault earlier today. There's only one winner in all of this. And it is the Baltimore Sun and their columnist, Mike Preston, who did what he was supposed to do. He got people, well, supposed to do is one way of putting it, but you know what I mean. At the end of the day, the entire country, football country, is talking about this story. And that ultimately benefits the Sun, and that benefits the columnist. And I think everybody, especially the national media, has to look themselves in the mirror and ask, why? Why were we not more thorough with understanding what this was and is, and ultimately running with it as if it's fact, as if it's gospel? And I think there's a level of blame that should go around all the way up to the national side of things. So, Robbie, Happy New Year to you, brother. It's great to see your face. Great to hear from you.
Happy New Year.
Safe travels back north, my man. Enjoy the rest of your time in Baltimore.
All right. See you, Bobby.
Robbie Pate, Massachusetts finest right there. Appreciate you guys for being with me this evening. Happy New Year to you and yours. Over 1,100 concurrents and counting. It's the first. We got college football on. It'll be on the rest of the night. what's Fernando Mendoza doing right now in this game? I got to do a little bit of multitasking to see what's happening. But anyway, there's plenty going on. And let's get to another super chat from Joe Jenkins, who wrote, Bobby, I think Monken gets too much blame. If we get rid of Harbaugh, what do you think about Monken moving to head coach? Also, good luck, Ben Cleveland. Joe, if John Harbaugh is ultimately, if they part ways with John Harbaugh, it'll be a completely fresh start. There'll be a fresh start, a fresh new head coach, a fresh new staff. And while I got a tremendous amount of respect for Todd Monken, I don't believe that they would promote him as the offensive coordinator right now to head coach. I think they would start fresh, hopefully younger, and go from there so that new person, that new head coach, whoever would be tapped, could bring in the staff that he wants, that he prefers, and ultimately put together his program. That's kind of how things work in that regard. So those are my thoughts there. Let's get a read in here from ZipRecruiter before we get any further. I appreciate you guys for being with me tonight. And Sarah and I both want to say thank you to ZipRecruiter. They're our newest sponsor on both channels. And if you're hiring for your company, this is a busy time of year for you. We all got 2026 goals. And for folks that are hiring, that means finding the right people to accomplish them, right? You've also got new hiring challenges for the upcoming year, like filling specialized roles or identifying qualified candidates from a huge pool of applicants. There is a place, lucky for you, that you can go to help you conquer these challenges and achieve your hiring goals, and that is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free by visiting ZipRecruiter.com/audio. You can see it right now in our show notes, and you can see it up on the screen. I should say we have it linked in the show notes, and I have it screen shared right now live for those of you watching in real time. Let ZipRecruiter help you find the best people for all of your roles. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. You can see for yourself and try ZipRecruiter for free today by visiting ZipRecruiter.com/audio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Thanks to them for their continued support of both of our channels. And thanks to all of you for spending part of your New Year's Day with me. Lamar Jackson will play. He confirmed that earlier this afternoon and had a number of other things to say as well, including addressing the widespread criticism that began last week after the Baltimore Sun column dropped. He also talked about his future with the organization. He also talked about his relationship with John Harbaugh. We've covered all of that and more, and we'll continue to get your reaction as it pours in. There is an update in the poll as we approach 400 votes. Are you expecting a legacy game from Lamar Jackson on Sunday night? 65% of you say yes. 8% of you say no. 23% of you say no. Game manager and mistake-free football is what you're expecting. And 5% of you say that you are nervous about his back. Coming up on 400 votes. Keep voting if you could. Back to the guest lines we go. Maurice, let's talk Lamar Jackson, shall we, brother? Who the hell knows what you're up to? I'd like to know, though. How was your New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve went pretty good. I may have smoked a little too much, but we're not going to talk about that. But at least my New Year's went pretty good. But
your best EV. Okay, EV is more influential than we think here inside this channel. Go ahead, brother.
But yeah, here's my answer on the poll. Is like I say we're gonna need Lamar to, play the game manager role and play mistake-free football. But at the same time, another part of me is still a little nervous about his back contusion. And like I touched on in the past live stream, it says these back contusions are no laughing matter. It can take quite a handful of time to fully recover from that. But this is just me, but we're going to need Lamar to play the game manager role, play mistake-free football. And we do have other weapons to do so. It's like we're going to have to expand the playbook a little bit, whether if it's doing more RPOs or, quick passing plays, screen plays. And we do have enough speed to do so. And we're going against a Pittsburgh Steelers defense that is currently ranked through 17 weeks of football. They're ranked 27th in total yards allowed with 356.8. And check this out. They allowed 39 total touchdowns allowed. through 17 weeks of football. So by the sounds of it, the Steelers defense, they do have some glaring weaknesses, but it is up to us to, do a little bit of film study on the Steelers defense so we could take advantages of those weaknesses. It's like whether if we, run the ball with Derrick Henry, we do have the backs to do so, or if we can go through the air. So like I did a little bit of film myself on the Steelers defense. So I feel like if we take advantage of their weaknesses in the secondary, we can come out with this game on top. So like, with Joey Porter has been playing a little iffy through the first 17 weeks of football. So here's my strategy. If you get the one-on-one look with Joey Porter, 9 times out of 10, we can possibly win that matchup if we stretch the ball downfield vertically. But that's basically what I would like to see from Lamar. Just play, good old-fashioned, mistake-free game manager football. 9 times out of 10, we can walk out of Pittsburgh with the victory and punch our ticket to the playoffs. But only time will tell. But that's where I stand on the poll.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate the call, man. Happy New Year. Maurice in his film study command center, not lighting up in the moment, which is always concerning when he's not lighting up. Same thing with EB when he doesn't have an Amazon truck in his background and the Amazon getup in his wardrobe. Because when he's not working, I just wonder what EB's getting up to. Shout out you, EB. 66% of you say that you are expecting a legacy game from Lamar Jackson. 22% of you are what Maurice, the camp that he's in, game manager and mistake-free type of Lamar Jackson role on Sunday night. What will ultimately lead to a victory? Look, ultimately, clean football against Pittsburgh always gives you a darn good chance. Stout special teams, always going to give you a really good chance. And I don't think we should sweep under the rug the significance of Tyler Loop's first game in Pittsburgh. He has passed a lot of the rookie tests, if you will, this year. At times has struggled with the dynamic kickoff and the landing zone areas. But for the most part has been a reliable kicker for the Ravens, a reliable place kicker. And obviously Jordan Stout has put together a Pro Bowl caliber season as a punter and placeholder. So I think, look, we've all been around enough Ravens Steelers games to realize just how closely contested a lot of these are, just how one score differences. Typically it comes down to one score games, and obviously the formula is pretty simple in terms of what the Ravens have in front of them. You win and you're in. You cannot tie this team. Tie goes to Pittsburgh, as you see right here, for clinching scenario purposes. By the way, it wasn't all that long ago that a lot of the talk was, damn, how did the Steelers have the Ravens number so consistently? They've won 9 of the last 12 meetings, as you see here from Jerry. I like the way he puts it, though. The Steelers have an uncanny way of controlling the Ravens, winning 9 of the 12 past meetings. The Ravens have an uncanny way of rushing for over 200 yards against the Steelers. They've done that in 7 of the past 14 meetings. What will be the story on Sunday night in Pittsburgh? What say you, Joel? Happy New Year to you, brother. Welcome back. What's going on?
What's going on, Bobby? Happy New Year to you too. First and foremost, I want to say, I want to address this Mike Preston. He is a egotistical. I don't even know what to even call him. I mean, this is the same guy that said Ray Lewis should be traded. Same guy that said, "Oh, do not draft Ed Reed." So he got what he wanted. He put the column out. He got what he wanted. He had the national media talking about this whole entire story the day after Christmas. So he got the attention that he wanted in the Baltimore Sun. So I just wanted to address that. I just thought that was absolutely stupid, and I paid no attention to it. But it was just hard not to, get away from it because everybody kept talking about it. And you got Nick Wright talking about it, Emmanuel Acho talking about it, Colin Cowherd talking about it, all these other national podcasts or whatever you want to call them talking about it. So it was just really stupid to me. But it was just typical Mike Preston, just stirring up some drama, which was debunked today by Lamar, obviously. So I never paid attention to that crap, and I just never bought into it.
Think about it.
Anyway,
Think about what it started as
yeah.
and what it ballooned into.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. This was an opinion-based column. It's not a
Right.
news story. It's not anything other than what it is. It's generalizations,
Mm-hmm.
it's opinions, all of which he's entitled to.
Right.
But there's a lot of people that help perpetuate this and platform it that either didn't care or didn't bother doing the due diligence that's required before you start to either push a narrative or, in this case, push a bunch of opinions and dress it up as factual.
Right.
You know, and I think the national media, there's a level of, whether it's the Nick Wrights and that platform or Ryan Clark or whoever ran with this, there is a level of accountability and blame that they need to shoulder when it comes to their role in helping this reach the heights that it did.
Slander. It's pretty much borderline slanderism, basically. And there's another thing that kind of like got me in a loop as well. No pun intended. I'm So I'm trying to figure out, because Mike Preston said that, he said, "Well, I'm not in the locker rooms anymore. I'm not there." So, all right, if you're not in the locker rooms, why would you say all this stuff in this article? If you're not in the locker room, how would you know that Lamar doesn't like pay attention, or he's playing video games, he's doing all this stuff? And is another thing too. Every Ravens media wire that we've seen after each game, you know how they expanded all their waivers wire when Harbaugh's talking to the team and they in that that meeting room. Who's always at the front that they always see? Lamar's right there at the front. We
That's what
see
he
him. I
said.
mean, that's
He
evidence right
himself said
there.
that today.
That's
He
basically
himself said that
evidence.
today.
Right. He's the first one at the front, like paying attention, always looking. So that basically everything he's saying was a lie. This is slander. So I mean, whatever.
Or if it's, I don't know if it's a lie. I think he's getting it from people that are also outsiders, meaning could be past Ravens who are outsiders, could be someone that's got a axe to grind that somehow either involved in the past or still somehow through back channels involved with the organization. Like I don't think you just make this stuff up. I think somebody gave it to him, but clearly whoever that somebody is either exaggerated or just straight up has an axe to grind and brought this thing to new levels of inaccuracy and hyperbole.
Yeah, I just think it was just absolutely ridiculous. But pivoting from that crap to this game this week. Now, I want to say that this game is obviously, I always say, every game that we played in has always come down to the trenches. How do you block for Lamar? And then on the other side, how do you get after the passer? Now, you circle back to the game that we played Pittsburgh in back in December when they won. I believe that Aaron Rodgers was not touched at all. Right? Like he hasn't taken a sack, taken a hit, none of that. He was
I know he wasn't
perfectly.
touched when he waltzed into the end zone on that trickery play.
Yeah, like he was like it was like you saw a flashback of Green Bay Aaron Rodgers in that whole entire game. So that has to change. They have to get after him somehow, some way. I don't know how you're gonna do it, but you got to do it. You're gonna have to get pressure on him. Now, I think the difference is going to be in this game. He doesn't have a down the field threat. Now, whether Calvin Austin plays remains to be
He's
seen.
gonna
Maybe
he's
he
gonna
will.
play.
He's going to play. Okay. Well, I mean, he's basically their only, kind of sort of deep threat, if you will.
I think, God, I mean, it's funny to define deep threat for them because they have obviously they really struggled to test any team vertically when you take DK off the field.
Yeah.
I think Scotty Miller would be an option for them, but they have not gone to him very much at all
Yeah.
this year. Like almost Matter of fact, I have it right in front of me.
Mhm.
Scotty's played in 12 games for them. He's got 7 receptions on 12 targets for 53 receiving yards.
Yeah.
So, look, anything's possible with this Ravens secondary, given the state of it, and given the porous performance. I mean, look, Zach Orr did not mince any words today. John Harbaugh did not mince any words. This is technique stuff. This wasn't fluky stuff. This was technique stuff, inexcusable stuff. So outside of Calvin Austin, look, they're going to attack the middle of the field with Freiermuth. No Darnell Washington's a big loss for them.
That's huge.
They're going to dump off. Right, a lot of the stuff's going to be underneath. It's going to be dump offs to Gainwell and Warren. Kenneth can do both. He can run the football effectively and catch the football. He's their third leading receiver.
Right.
And look, that the Ravens have been susceptible to some underneath stuff.
Yeah.
It's a big night for Trenton Simpson. Big night. Maybe the biggest, most important game of his young career.
Yeah.
In Trenton's case. And then obviously they don't have any man beaters out there.
No.
So I'm expecting heavy man from the Ravens.
I agree.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I agree. I think they're going to go heavy man. They're going to have like Kyle Hamilton lurking around the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gets a sack. Maybe he gets a batted pass. I mean, you have to bat every single one of Aaron Rodgers' passes. I mean, you're not going to do every last one of them, but he gets the ball out quick, and I think that's another key. Kyle Van Noy talked about it on the Kay Adams podcast and how he gets the ball out really quick. So that's another key. If you can't get pressure up front, try to get in his head space, make sure that he doesn't, complete any passes. So batting the ball down is going to be absolutely key. And also third downs on both sides. Definitely key. Converting those third downs on offense and stop them from converting third downs is going to be key to winning this game. And I believe they will win this game. That's my prediction. I ain't going to give my score prediction yet until
I should push your ass against the wall and demand that you give it to us. God damn. I'll give you another 24 hours, though, big fella.
Yeah, I got you, man. I got you, Bobby.
All right, brother. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year too.
Later, Jewel. Guys, I would love for you to join the Bobby Baltimore Discord server. It's a 24/7 hub for conversations surrounding Baltimore sports. And where did it go? I thought I was screen sharing with you, but maybe not. Here it is. How many members are we up to now? Let's take a look. 1,085. Sean became 1,085. There's constant chatter in here. It's all things Baltimore sports. It's all things Ravens football, depending on which chat room you're most interested in. And right now, it is free to join. Discord access is being dropped into the live chat. I will update the pinned comment. By the way, just for those of you wondering where the poll is at, we are north of 400. Let me go ahead and pin this first right here for you. Would love for you guys to join the Discord group. Over 400 votes, and 66% of you say that you are expecting a legacy game from Lamar. 22%, you're like, look, I'm just expecting game manager and mistake-free football from Lamar. 8% of you do not think that a Lamar legacy game is incoming, and 4% say they're nervous about Lamar's back. So anyway, a lot of people talking about Ben Cleveland in here. There's just constant chatter. It's a great community of like-minded people. And it's not just football. Go check out Bobby After Dark while you're at it. Maybe you'll get some details on my recent date with a 38-year-old. So go check that out. That's right, 38. 38. 38. That was something different that I was willing to do earlier this week. And welcome to Eastern B, who's become member number 1086. Guys, Sarah and I will be back tomorrow, as we always are, in the noon Eastern hour for a Friday Ravens Lunch Hour live stream. We will give out predictions, we will give out score, and we will ultimately preview once and for all Ravens Steelers in a gotta have it game for both teams coming up on Sunday night. Enjoy college football, enjoy the start to 2026, and enjoy the company that are around you if you are with anyone, whether it be loved ones, significant others, work, you name it. I wish the best for you guys this year and this upcoming weekend, most importantly, for those of you that have a lot riding on this, whether it's fandom, money, or anywhere in between, coming up on Sunday night, 8:20 kickoff. Enjoy it. I'm going to go try and get some rest and get myself back to 100%. And You guys are the best. Appreciate you. Like the video on your way out if you could. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Consider becoming a channel member or gift-giving membership today on your way out. And I will catch up with you a little bit later on.